got some technical difficulties going on. Remember, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you can. I appreciate it. Thanks. Super chat, PayPal, Patreon, whatever. It helps if you do. A little late to this, just sick on and off as usual, but people ask, what do I think about season 4 of Guilty Gear Strive? And it's, I think, exactly what I've said about all the other stuff I've said about Strive. Like, my opinions on these games do not change because they have not changed. But I mean, again, we can look at something here, like look at Chip's wall thing. So creative. I love that. I think it's fantastic. You know, and well, this I hate. And this is old though. You know, I hate giving every character a sort of fireball move. I really cringe at that. I think he got that last patch, but that pulls me back a little bit. I really hate every character having their. It's one of the biggest problems with Guilty Gear. It just felt like giving every character just eventually felt like, oh, he's got a big fireball. He knocks you down into a fireball. It's just groaning to me. I just cringe. But what else do we have here? Let's look. Where is it? Where's old Biken? And I just say this because I just love it. I just love the whole fucking. It's just so fucking creative to me, and it like actually makes me smile a little bit when I like look at a move like that, and I'm like, oh, she like pulls you towards her. That's so fucking. I know it's old, it's cool, and then of course I look at Ram Lethal, and I'm like, if I was a younger man, I'd probably be, and if I still jacked off to anime, I would be jacking off to Ram Lethal all day long. All day long. Is she old enough? I don't know if she's old enough, but I mean, I'm sure I would, right? Age is just a number. Dizzy's only 3. Age is just a number. I mean, what are we going to do when these anime characters look like this? Right? But anyway, jokes aside, speaking about, is that the first, look at the chip thing and everything, just how creative it is. There used to be, and this is before I get into like the general thoughts of this, but you know, when I look at something like this, there used to be a Japanese website that it had noted every first version of like a so-called sort of mechanic in a fighting game or a so-called move in a game. I don't know if it exists anymore because I don't follow a lot of fighting game stuff anymore, and let alone read about it in Japanese. But it was an interesting site that I read back in the day. And say an example, you might not realize this, but say like a character like Mizuguchi. Mizuguchi is actually the first Rekka character ever in a fighting game. And you know, Mizuguchi has the big blue, the Tsudensai, right? And I actually had wondered, is that the original version of a move like Ryu's Super Dragon Punch, where it has one version if it misses you, but if it hits with the first hit, he goes into a different animation. And I had actually wondered if is Mizuguchi's Big Blue the first version of a move that is like that, right? And actually, apparently it's the second version of a move, actually, which I didn't know. There's actually some random Japanese game that had a Dragon Punch kind of move before that, where it was, it did 2 different things depending on how it hit, which I didn't realize. But, you know, that's why I just say when I look at stuff like this, it makes me wonder, is this the first kind of version of a move like this in a fighting game? I know there was a fucking answer and stuff like in X-Art, and I guess it could Bang and BlazBlue, he could also kind of jump off stuff on the wall, but this is just on such a different level. It's so creative. And when I think about like Baiken's fucking grappling hook, and it sticks to you and it pulls you towards you, it's just what I said, dude. The saddest thing about Strive, and this is why I say people ask me to talk about Strive, and I'm just not wrong about games, and I said it right from the get-go. They're going to try to sell you on the system of this game is so amazing, but it's not going to be amazing. You can tell they don't even know what they're doing. They're talking about the wall is going to be so big brain. No one's ever going to see a mechanic like the wall. And it's like, dude, the wall is terrible. And I explained how the wall worked. And it's like, dude, it's not a time limit. This is terrible. It's going to actually encourage people to not play the game optimally, because it's not going to be possible to always go. And why would you want a game where you're not encouraged to play it optimally? And because you can't actually see the power or like the health meter of the wall, so many times when you see people play this game, they just go for the safe this thing, right? And then you see supers, and I know some people tried to argue, oh, well, some characters don't use their super to break the wall. I know how the fuck games work, okay? You don't need to tell me how a fucking game works, okay? Jim, you know that like Marco guy, the chef guy that got all those Michelin stars, and he's like, why the fuck am I being judged by people that know less than me? And so he gave away his stars. That's how I feel when people try to tell me about a video game. Just stop. You don't even know your own gender. I know that some characters don't use supers to break a wall, you fucking retard, okay? But they literally put in a mechanic in this game that encourages you to use the super to break the wall. It's one of the mechanics, the homogenization of it. It's terrible. I know some characters don't do it. They are the exception to the rule. You don't know more about games than me. Sorry to break it to you. Change your gender again. Fucking idiot. But anyway. The wall, like I said, a year and a half into it, and they're like, even in the developer interview, they asked them, they're like, what are you doing with the wall? We don't get it. And the own developer's like, yeah, we don't know what we're doing with the wall either. Oh my God. What did I say? They said this game was going to be the most risky game ever to jump in. What, you can see the game. Does this look, you see this shit and you're like, does this look like the most risky game ever to jump in when you see all these mix-ups and everything? I'm like, this is not how this is not how these games work, dude. Oh, it's gonna be the most risky game ever to jump in. It's gonna be such an honest, more Street Fighter shit. I'm like, no, it's not. This is not how the game works, dude. No one's ever gonna jump in this game. Bro, you took away FD for like ground attacks and everything like this. You took away FD for dragon punches, you know? And I'm like, there's no reason to believe this. Now you even have patches where, you know, you can't Roman cancel a dragon punch, which again, I look at this shit and the game is only getting more crazy when you look at the stuff like the chip shit, which I love the chip shit. The chip shit is it's incredibly creative to me. I fucking love it. I wish if it was a real Guilty Gear game, I would love this to be like an EX move. If he had like, you know, you have force breaks and plus R or accent core or whatever, I would love if there was just for like an EX bar, he can put a rope on the stage. You know, maybe he could put a couple of ropes and he's like going up and up, crazy shit like that. I fucking love it. It's weird. You know, it's awesome to me. It seems like a cool thing if it was like an EX move or something like that. But again, you see the mix-ups are only getting more and more crazy. And you see this hatred towards dragon punches. And it's just it blows my mind that people will actually defend that is good game design. That the dragon punch character where you have a homogenized mechanic, right? Where everything you can RC in a game, but then the developer of the game is like, I don't like dragon punches, so you can't do it. Even though they told you this is going to be the most risky game ever to jump in, you know. They're like, oh my God, we don't want you reversing out of all these crazy mix-ups again. You know, these kind of games, if anything, should have completely invincible dragon punches, Street Fighter 2 style, right? You know, there's no reason for a game, for like Marvel games, for anime games, whatever you want to call it, to have dragon punches that are circumcised, whatever you want to call it, or castrated in any form. It just doesn't make sense. And I've said before, dude, sometimes you need a person that can take good ideas and take bad ideas, and they can nurture the good ideas and put a stop to the bad ideas, right? You need a good fucking, you know, boss, a good fucking, you know, director. And that's why I feel like these games, though, you have a person that makes them now that can only appreciate one perspective of fighting games, unfortunately. And to the Guilty Gear designers' credit, they still make amazing characters, right? But the foundation of the game is just so flawed. It's terrible, right? I don't like the weight of the game either. I think even when you watch clips like this, I've said before, there's this gravitational pull in new school fighting games where characters feel so heavy and they feel like there's like a magnet pulling them together, right? It's like a Dragon Ball Z hyperbolic time chamber or hyperbolic training chamber, whatever the fuck it's called. It's like every character's in like 100 times gravity. And it feels like characters are just they feel blocky and stiff, right? And when you see the combos and the way that you juggle, the flow and the feel of the game is just, it's awful to me. But you can see there's actual creativity that is still possible. And I think they deserve credit for still putting interesting spin on characters. I understand that some people don't like some of the characters actually, but I think that you got to at least give them credit that they're amazing reinterpretations of characters. They could be an EX character, just like how they had EX characters in fucking even original Guilty Gear, right? You could now fucking have a new Guilty Gear. If a new Guilty Gear came out that was a little bit less stiff than let's say, right? You could have characters that have two EX characters themselves. It's like a fucking King of Fighter game, right? It's just, I think it's awesome. I love the stuff that they do with some of the characters. I hate the foundation of the game, and the fact that people defend it's just terrible, right? And you see that they've gone from promoting this game that it was going to be the most risky game ever to jump in, the most honest fucking Guilty Gear ever, so to speak. It was going to have this wall that was going to change the perspective on fighting games, and now all you see is LGBTQ fucking narrative. Overly radical LGBTQ bullshit is how they sell the game, because the game itself, you're like, wow. Again, dude, it's how many times did I say it? And of course I talk about the Roman cancel system, taking away FRCs and everything like this. And I'm like, they're going to try to sell you on this game. Oh, the drift Roman cancels. It's going to be so amazing. And I'm like, dude, this drift Roman cancel, dude. And I made videos about it. I'm like, you know what's going to happen when people actually start doing drift Roman cancels? You're going to see a bunch of people in tournaments, and even the announcers are going to be like, oh, he Roman canceled here, but then he Roman canceled back. Like, your Roman cancel versus my Roman cancel. That's going to be the hypeness. It's not going to be like an actual individualized kind of hypeness. In before another fucking idiot's like, well, this character can use it in their own way too. Well, guess what? In the original Guilty Gears, every character can use it in their own way. Not just, oh, this character uses it in this way. Shut the fuck up. Stop pretending that you know more than me in video games. You don't even know what gender you are. You wake up every day and you don't know if you're a boy or a girl. Stop. You don't even know what a retcon is, right? It's crazy to me, right? I mean, look at what they did to Testament in the game. The original designs for Testament in this game, when they saw how popular Bridget was, what did they do for Testament? Do you think I faked those designs of Testament, that they redesigned Testament to look more like a fucking girl? Come on, ridiculous. But it just goes, yeah, it goes to show they should be focusing on how amazing the characters are. And that's not the focus of the game. The focus went from, oh, the drift Roman canceling, oh, the most risky game ever to jump in. It's going to be so honest. There's not going to be combos in this game. Oh, the wall system, it's going to be so amazing. Never seen a wall system like this. Oh, a new perspective on games. Then a year into a half, and they're like, where's the stuff you're talking about? Their own interview, they said, we don't know. We literally don't know. And it's like, wow. Reassuring. Anyway, looking at the Kai thing, oh wow, great. He gets a Dragon Punch mid-screen off shock state. I can't believe, and I said this before, and I think I said when I said one of the last videos I was talking about this game. I said before, when they first showed off Kai, and when I first made those videos for the beta, I showed that Kai could Shinakuma again, and I'm like, the fact that they're talking about this game is supposed to be, you're not supposed to ever jump in it. No one's ever going to jump. I was like, if that's actually true, they're going to take out Shinakuma. There's no way they're going to allow this in. And I showed all those mix-up with it. And I guess to their credit, quotation marks, they did take away all the Shinakuma. But then when you see how the game works, you're like, well... I guess I was right that they took away Shinakuma, because I'm like, there's no way they're going to keep this in if this is how they're saying the game is supposed to be. But at this point, it's like, why is it not in the game? When the Dragon Punch character is Dragon Punch and can't even Roman cancel it. Remember the very first season of the game, Kai could not even hit you with a fireball mid-screen away, because he was punishable mid-screen away from a fireball. And they even toned down the shock state, which to this day, because I haven't actually put in the game to try it again, did they actually ever fix the shock state? Because if you recall, I showed some combos, some high-low mix-ups. If the guy has shock state on, even when they're blocking, the mix-ups don't even work. It actually punishes Kai, and then lets Kai be punished from certain combos, which is certain fucking weird even after he hits you. Did they ever fix that? I don't know, because I just lost faith in the game. But what I can say is, though, like I said, I think the shock state is an awesome idea for a character like Kai, but it's not properly nourished, right? Just like so many other, there's awesome ideas. I mean, some of these characters, Gold Lewis, Little Dicky, whatever the fuck his name is, Little Dicky. I don't know. He fucks Bridget in the story, whatever the fuck it is, right? I mean, you know, even look at the motions of his moves. So fucking creative. But you know what? People don't focus on that. They would rather focus on him fucking Bridget. That's the most important thing. It's fucking sad. But anyway, you know, the game is 6 years old now. You know, the wall is terrible. I don't know why they still haven't put in a time limit or like actual health meter for the wall to actually encourage people to play the game optimally instead of trying to count the frames in their head, which again, remember, people said that was going to be wrong. Do you remember that fucking, what was that guy's name? That fucking Ken Deep fucking guy? Dude literally posted, he doesn't watch my videos. He knows nothing about my videos, but Clayton is going to be wrong about the wall. Then when the game came out, he tried to take credit for finding how the wall works because he hacked the game. And then what's even more funny, if you look at the German Discords, he did watch my videos when I said how the game was going to work. And then my fucking videos where I showed that he was in the Discords actually watching my videos, someone mysteriously was trying to get those videos taken down. Please don't watch them, which obviously they're still up, but someone flagged all those videos because it was harassment against him to show that he's a fucking idiot. Anyway, once again, this isn't me saying I'm good at the game, but none of you fucks will ever do what I've done in video games. I've looked at games and done more than you guys. It's ridiculous. Change your gender again, you fucking freak. Anyway, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you want. Appreciate it. Thanks. The end.